Hi, I'm glad you could join me in my study. This week, I've continued to work on my article on divine forgiveness and legal pardon. And it's really amazing how the task of writing something up really serves to bring greater precision and clarity to one's thinking. The issue that I'm currently writing on is whether a pardon needs to be accepted in order to be effective. Here, the courts have not spoken with a single voice. Early on, the Supreme Court declared that in order to be effective, a pardon must be accepted by the person on whom it is bestowed. In fact, there was a very interesting Supreme Court case in which one Moses Dupuy was pardoned by the president. But before the U.S. Marshal could deliver the pardon to the prison official of the prison where Dupuy was incarcerated, the president changed his mind and rescinded the pardon. And the court ruled that in this case, the pardon was not delivered and therefore was not accepted and therefore was not effective. Later Supreme Court and other court decisions, however, have walked back the notion that an act of clemency by the president or governor has to be accepted in order to be valid. It's interesting, however, that these cases do not concern pardons, but rather commutations of sentence or reprieves. In cases like this, the president lessens the sentence of the criminal. For example, he might commute his sentence from death to life in prison. And the court reasoned that the severer sentence implies or implicitly contains the less severe sentence. And since the more severe sentence was given without the prisoner's consent, in a similar way, the commuted sentence also does not need the assent of the prisoner or the criminal in order to be effective. Notice, however, that this rationale does not apply to pardons, because pardons can be given prior to conviction and sentencing, and therefore are not implicit in any sort of sentence because they can be given independently of any sentence. So while commutations and reprieves may not require the accused's permission or acceptance, on the basis of precedent, it still is the case that a full pardon requires acceptance by the potential pardonee. The theological application of this is obvious. In order for Christ's satisfying death to be effective on our behalf, we need to accept God's pardon of our sins. If we refuse his pardon, then we fall back under his justice, where we have received our proper sentence of condemnation. And therefore, it's crucial, in order for Christ's satisfying death to be effective for us, that we freely receive Christ and accept the divine pardon for our sins.